In this video, I'm going to discuss how to use VitalSigns to assess the health of your Microsoft Active Directory servers. Now, there's a couple of ways to measure Active Directory health, and Microsoft has provided a set of PowerShell commands that are useful in this regard. I'm going to show you a couple of those. Those include variations of the Repadmin command and the dcdiag command. Now, while those commands are great, the problem with that is you do have to run them manually from a PowerShell command. You have to remember to do it and look at the results. And you never know exactly when something's going to go wrong with your Active Directory servers. So what VitalSigns offers is a comprehensive test suite, including all of the Microsoft tests that are performed automatically and have the results analyzed, and some additional tests that we put together based on real-world scenarios and feedback from Active Directory administrators that we work with. The way that VitalSigns ensures Active Directory health is to combine all of this information into an intuitive dashboard, perform it on a user-defined schedule, and alert you when trouble is detected. Let me just switch over for a second here and show you the VitalSigns dashboard. Okay, so here I'm looking at the main screen, and on the main screen you can have any number of items appear on here that you're interested in, and you can customize this page. If you don't work with Domino or you don't have cloud applications, you can just look at your on-prem stuff. I'm interested mostly in the Active Directory servers. And so you see I have two Active Directory servers that I'm currently monitoring, and both of those have issues. And I can click on any one of these things to do a drill down. So what I'm going to do here is click on Active Directory. Here you'd have a list of all of your Active Directory servers and their status. This is one way of viewing the status. Typically what we do is we have a view called the status list. So if you wanted to see, for example, all of your issues, you click up here on all of the issues and they're all jumped together. So this particular view that we're first looking at is not necessarily Active Directory specific, it's just an overall health assessment. If you wanted to look at a page that was specifically designed for communicating Active Directory health, we have that under Server Health, and show you the Active Directory dashboard that we have here. Let me just switch back over to PowerPoint and I'll walk you through what we're seeing here. Okay, so first we have a couple of Microsoft tests. Now, there's the Repadmin command, and you can start it up using a couple of different flags. So /showrepl, I don't know how to exactly pronounce that, but what this does is displays the replication status when the specified domain controller last attempted to perform inbound replication of Active Directory partitions. And this command can help you understand the replication topology and various replication failures. And it reports the status for each domain controller from which this destination has an inbound connection object. If you were going to run that in your own environment, here's the syntax right here. You could easily Google that, but basically you type repadmin and then /showrepl, and then there's a couple of different optional parameters here. But basically what VitalSigns does is, under the hood, is at the interval you specify, so every 8 minutes, every 10 minutes, whatever, we perform all of these tests, and those go into columns so that you can see at a glance the results of the test. So here I have the replication test highlighted, and if I go back to the browser, you see that's this column right here. And you notice that there's lots of other columns here as well, and that's because we perform a battery of tests before we make an assessment about how Active Directory is doing. There's another variation of this Repadmin, which is the replication summary flag, and what this does is it identifies the domain controllers that are failing inbound replication or outbound replication and summarizes the results in a report. So what VitalSigns does in this case is we execute that command and we parse out the results and we stick it into the dashboard. Another cool tool is this dcdiag, which is the domain controller diagnostic tool. And what it does is it analyzes the state of your domain controllers in a forest or enterprise and reports any problems to help in troubleshooting. Just like the repadmin command, it's a command line reporting tool, and it helps you identify abnormal behavior in a system. There's all kinds of things that you can pass it, including various DNS tests. So you'll see here that there's a basic DNS test, there's DNS all, there's DNS forward, there's DNS delegation, etc. So what VitalSigns does is we run all these tests and we parse this out for you. In the overall dashboard, you'll see a column for DNS test, and it will have a pass-fail. But what's happening under the hood is all of these tests are actually being performed, and if any one of them fails, then the whole test is considered a fail. And if you're looking at your dashboard and you see that any of the columns is red, you can click on that row and it will pull up a detail page, and you can see exactly why it's red, and you can see this kind of detail. So there's a number of other tests that we do around Active Directory. The VitalSigns engineers have put together a battery of tests that are all based on real-world feedback from Active Directory administrators that we come in contact with. And of course, we have Active Directory administrators on staff as well that we are always picking their brains and trying to make it better. You see things like an Active Directory logon test and a port test and a query latency test and all kinds of other things in here. If you want to see the detail of that, you basically just click on a particular Active Directory page and you get this health assessment, and it has all of those tests that come up here. So let me switch back over to the actual dashboard. So in this case, for the purposes of the demo, I just set it up to monitor 2 different Active Directory servers. This Active Directory health page is designed to give you the overview of how they're doing. And if you wanted to do a deep dive into any one of these things, you just click on that particular row, and that pulls up the detail page for the particular server that you're monitoring. And here you see the detail page for the selected Active Directory server. On the overview page, you'll see things like the response time and the amount of disk space and CPU and memory. These are tests that we perform for all different server types, not just Active Directory, but also for Exchange and SharePoint and any other Windows-based server that we test. The Health Assessment tab is the one I was just talking to right here. This is where you see the details of all of the tests that were performed, whether it was a pass or fail, and when that test was last performed, so you can see if that information is current or not. We also watch over various Windows services. There's a couple of services that are required for Active Directory to work, and any Windows service that you want to have monitored on a particular server, you can watch over that as well. If VitalSigns detects any problem at all, like a Windows service not running, or any one of these tests failing, or any issue with disk space or response time, or any of the other alert types that you have subscribed to receive, the VitalSigns dashboard will change from OK to an issue, and the alert will go out to the proper person. All right, thank you very much for watching.